So yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death. The memory be green and that it has befitted to bear our hearts in grief and our whole country to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature that we with wisest sorrow think on him together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we, as twere with a defeated joy, with an auspicious and a dropping eye, with mirth and funeral, and with dirge and marriage, in equal parts weighing delight and woe, taken to wife. Nor have we here inquired your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along, for all our thanks. And now, Larkies, what's the news with you? You've told us of some suit. What is it, Lurkies? You cannot speak of reason to the Dane and lose your voice. What wouldst thou beg, Lurkies? That shall not be my offer, not thy asking. The head is not more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth, than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have, Lurkies?
My dread lord, your gracious leave and favor to return to France, from whence, though willingly I came to show my duty in your coronation, yet now I must confess that duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend again toward France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave by laborsome petition, and at last, upon his will, I sealed my hard consent. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, time be thine, and thy best graces, spend it at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet and my son.
A little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thine angry color off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy bailiff lids seek for thy noble father in the dust thou knowest is common. All that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, 'tis come.
If it be why seems it so particular with thee.
Seems, madam, nay, it is. I know not seem.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know, your father lost the father. That father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation for some term to do obsequious sorrow, but to persever in obstinate condolement is the course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief for what we know must be and is as common as any of the most vulgar thing to sense. Why should we, in our peevish opposition, take it to heart? We pray you throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father, for let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent to go back to school to Wittenburg, it is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you to remain here, in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee stay with us. Go not to Wittenburg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come.
Too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew, or that the everlasting did not fix their cannon against self-slaughter. Ye gods, how weary, flat, stale, and unprofitable seem all the uses of this world.
Fie upon it, fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden grown to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. But it has come to thus. But 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2. Lest I remember, why she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed upon. And yet, within a month, let me not think it. Francie, thy name is woman! A little month, ere those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body like Niobe all tears. She, oh gods, a beast that once for discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with mine uncle. My father's brother, yet no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month, ere the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing of her galled eyes, she married. The most wicked speed. To post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets is not and cannot come to good. But break my heart, I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship!
Gracious, what do I forget myself?
Say, my lord, your poor servant ever.
Sir, my good friend, I'll change that name with you. Marcellus!
Lord Hamlet!
I'm very glad to see you. And good evening to you, sir. But what is fate making from Wittenburg?
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I pity you not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Oh, thrift, Horatio. The funeral meets did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. Oh, would that I had met my dearest foe in Valhalla ere I'd seen that day, Horatio. My father. Methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye.
I saw him once. Oh, was a goodly king.
He was a man. Take him for all in all, I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesterday.
Who?
My lord, the king, your father?
The king. My father.
Cease in your admiration for a while with an intent ear. I am deliver upon the witness of these gentlemen this marvel to you.
Bones, beard, let me hear.
Tonight's test, have these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, on their watch in the dead race in the middle of the night in Dawson County. A figure, like your father, armed at point exactly capo high, appears before them, and the solemn march goes slow and stately by them. Thrice he walks before their oppressed and fear-surprised eyes will say, distilled almost to a jelly with the active fear, stand dumb and sweet not to. This, to me, is that secrecy today in part, and on the third night I with them at the watch. And as they had delivered, both in time, form of the thing, each word made true and good, the apparition comes. I knew your father, these hands are not mortal.
Where did this happen?
My lord, upon the platform where we walk.
Spoke you not to him?
My lord, I did. No answer made it not. Yet once we thought it did address itself in motion like it would speak, but even then the morning cock grew loud, and at the sound it shrunk and hastened away and vanished from our sight.
Very strange.
As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true, and we to these retelled in our duty to let you know it.
Indeed, sir. This troubles me. Hold your watch tonight.
We do, my lord.
Arm, say.
Arms,
My lord,
my
arm.
lord.
Top to toe.
My lord, from head to foot.
How look you say? Browning.
Countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
Pale or red?
Nay, very pale.
Eyes on.
Most possible.
What's the matter there?
It would have much amazed you.
Very much. But stayed long.
Not when I saw it.
I will watch tonight. Perchance we'll walk again.
I watched well.
If it assume my noble father's form, I will speak it. So hell herself gave to bid me hold my peace. I pray you, you have hitherto concealed this sight. Let me settle with your side of the ship. Whatsoever else may happen tonight, with an understanding of your house, I will requite you. So, fare you well, and tonight, on the platform betwixt 11 and 12, I will visit.
I do need your honorship.
Your love is mine to you.
Farewell.
father's spirit in arms. All is not well. I doubt some foul play. But what did it night? Till then, sit still my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth o'erwhelm men's eyes.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as the winds give benefit and convoys, do not sleep, but let me hear from you. For Hamlet, spiteful in his hold it a fashion, void in blood, a violet in the youth of primal nature, forward, not permanent, sweet, not lasting, the perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more.
No more but so.
Think it no more. For nature crescent grows not alone in hues and bulks, but as this temple waxes, the inward service of the mind and soul grows wide withal. He may love you now, and now no soil toddles on to smirch the virtue of his will, but you must fear. His greatness way, his will is not his own. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself, for upon his choice depends the safety and health of this whole state. Therefore, his choice must be circumscribed unto the wishful yielding of that body whereof he is the head. Then, if he says to you, is your wisdom so far believed as he in his particular act and place may give his saying, which is no farther than the main voice of Denmark overall. Then waiting what loss your honor may sustain, if to greedy ear you list to songs, and lose your heart, or your chaste treasure opened is unmastered importunity. Fear it, oh fear it, to keep you from the rear of your affection out of the shadow of dangerous desire. The chariot made follow, not that she had mastered beauty. The virtue itself escaped not the the canker gall and instant of the stream too oft for her button to be disclosed, and in the morn and liquid view of youth, the lashes are most beautiful. Be wary, lest it be lies in fear. Youth to itself rebels, though none else fear.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But would my brother do not as so ungraciously do, should his steep and thorny way to heaven, while a puff and reckless liberty, the primrose path of dalliance tread, rests not his own greed.
Oh, fear me not, but I stay too long. Oh, but here my father comes. A double blessing is double grace. The creature smiles upon the second week.
Oh, yeah, here, Laertes! Aboard for shame! The wind sits in the shoulder of her sailing or stay for, well. There! Oh, my blessing was eaten. These few precepts in my memory look our character. Give thy thoughts no thought, or any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast in their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel, but do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new-hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but, being in, bear it that the opposed beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit is thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man. And they in France of the best rank and station are most select and generous chief in that. And neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan obtrusive both himself and friend, and borrowing dulleth the edge of husbandry. This, above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell. My blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
Now the time invests you, go, your servants tend.
Farewell, Ophelia, and remember well what I have said to you.
Just keep my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is Ophelia he hath said to you?
So please you, my lord, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Mary, love the thought. 'tis told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself have of your audience been most free and bounteous. If it be so, and so 'tis put on me, and that in way of caution, I must tell you, you do not understand yourself so clearly as both my daughter and your honor. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affections! You speak like a green girl unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as we call them?
He hath, my lord, importuned me with love in honorable fashion, and hath given countenance to his speech with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Aye, screeches to catch woodcocks. I do know when the blood burns, how prodigal the soul lends to the tongue vows. These blades of daughter giving more light than heat, extinct in both, even in their promise as in the making. You must not pay for fire. From this time, we somewhat stanza up from maiden presence. Set her in treatment at a higher rate than a command to parley. This is for all. I would not, in plain terms from this time forth, have you so slander any moment leisure as to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you, up no way.
I shall in all my best obey you, my lord.
It bites shrewdly. Bitter cold.
It's a nipping and eager air, my lord.
What hour now?
I think it lacks at 12.
No, 'tis struck.
Indeed, I heard it not. Then draws near the season wherein the spirit held his wont to walk. Look, my lord, it comes.
Angels and ministers of grace, defend us. Be thou a spirit of help or a goblin damned, bring with thee air from heaven or blast from hell. Be thy intents wicked or charitable. Thou comest in such a questionable form, I would speak with thee. I call thee, Hamlet, King, Father, Royal Dane, oh answer me.
It beckons you to go away with it, as if it summoned partners you desire to you alone.
Look with what cautious hand it waves you to a more removed place, but do not go.
No, by no means.
Will not speak, I will follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why not? What should be the fear? I do not set my life in a penny's fee, and for my soul, being a thing immortal as itself, what can it do to that? It beckons me forth. I will follow.
What if it tempts us like a flood, my lord, or to the dreadful summit of the cliff that beetles o'er his face into the sea, and there assume some other horrible form that might deprive your sovereignty of reason and draw you into madness? Think of it. The very placeless toys of desperation without more motive into every brain that looks so many fathoms to the sea and hears it more beneath.
It beckons me still. You go on, I will follow thee.
Do not go, my lord.
Hold off your hand.
Be ruled, you shall not go.
My fate cries out and makes every petty artery in this body as hardy as the Nemean lion's nerve. Still I am cold. Unhand me, gentlemen, or by oath, I'll make a ghost of him who lets me. I say away. Go on, I'll follow thee.
He waxes desperate with imagination.
Thus not fit to obey him.
To what issue will this come?
There is something rotten in the state of Denmark.
Well, heaven or thou Allah will direct us.
Where wouldst thou lead me? Speak, I will go no further.
Mark me.
I will.
My hour is almost come when I to sulphurs and tormenting flames must render up myself.
Oh, alas, poor spirit.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak, I am bound to hear.
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fasts and fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house. I could a tale unfold, whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul. Make thy two eyes like stars start from their spheres, like knotted and combined locks to part, in each particular hair, to stand on end like quills upon the fretful porpentine. But this eternal blaze must not be to ears of flesh and blood. List, oh list. If thou didst ever thy dear father love, revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder.
Murder most foul as in the best it is. but this most foul, strange, and unnatural.
But haste me to know it, that with wings as swift as meditation or thoughts of love, I may sweep to my revenge.
I find the apt now Hamlet here. 'Tis given out that sleeping in my orchard a serpent stung me, so the whole ear of Denmark is by a forged process of my death rankly abused. But know thou, noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul! My uncle!
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wit, with treacherous gifts, a wicked wit and gift that have the power so to seduce one to his shameful lust, the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. Hamlet, what a falling off was there for me, whose love was of that dignity that it went hand in hand, even with the vow I made to her in marriage, and to decline upon a wretch whose natural gifts were poor to those of mine. Myself, methinks I sent the morning air brief, let me be, sleeping in my orchard, my custom always of the afternoon. Upon my secure hour thy uncle stole with juice of cursed Abaddon and vial, and in the porches of my ears did pour the leprous distilment whose effect holds such an enmity with blood of man that swift as quicksilver it courseth through the natural gates and alleys of the body, and with a sudden vigor it doth pass it, and curd the thin and wholesome blood, so did it mine. Thus was I sleeping, by a brother's hand of life, of crown, and queen, at once dispatched. Horrible, horrible, most horrible, if thou hast nature in thee. Bear it not. Let not the royal bed of Denmark be a couch for luxury and damned incest, but howsoever thou pursuest thy act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother art. Leave her to heaven, and to those thorns that in her bosom lodge to prick and sting her. Fare thee well. Once, adieu, 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 remember me.
Remember thee, I, poor ghost, whilst memory holds a seat in this distracted globe. Remember thee! From the table of my memory I shall wipe away all forms of precious past, all sores of books, all fond remembrances that youth and observation have copied there, and thy commandment all alone shall live within the book and volume of my brain, unmixed with baser matter. Till Valhalla, oh pernicious woman! Oh, villain, villain, smiling, damned villain! Oh, that one may smile and be a villain, at least I am sure is so in Denmark. Oh. There you are, uncle. And now to my word. It is adieu, adieu. Remember me. I have sworn it.
My lord! My lord!
Lord Hamlet?
Heaven secure him!
So be it.
How is my lord?
What news, my lord?
Oh, it is wonderful.
Well, do tell my lord.
Nay, you shall reveal it.
Not I, my lord, by heaven. Nor I, by
Nor
Valhalla.
I, my lord.
I say you. Would heart of man once think it, but you'll be secret.
I, good my lord.
Well, there's ne'er a villain living in all of Denmark, but he's an arrant knave.
Well, there needs no ghost, my lord, come from the grave to tell us this.
Right, you're in the right. And so, with no more circumstance at all, I find it fit that we all shake hands and part, you to where your business and desire may point you, for every man has business and desire, such as it is. And for mine own poor part, I shall go pray.
These are but wild and whirling words, my lord.
I'm sorry if they offend. Heartily, in faith, heartily.
There's no offense, my lord.
Fine interest still there is, Horatio, and great offense. Touching on this ghost, he is an honest spirit. That, let me tell you. Now, friends, as we are all friends, scholars and soldiers, permit me one poor request.
What is it, my lord? We will.
Never to speak of this that you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not. We will not, my lord.
Nay, swear it.
In faith, my lord, not I.
No, upon my sword, swear it.
Swear.
Oh, boy. Are you there, True Penny? Come, you hear the old fellow in the celery. Consent to swear.
What's the oath, my lord?
Never shall you speak of this that you have seen. Swear by my sword.
Swear.
Come hither, friends. Swear. Lay your hand there upon my sword. Swear by my sword, never shall you speak of this that you have heard. Swear by my sword. more removed, good friends.
Well, day and night, but this is wondrous strange.
Come, then therefore as the stranger giveth welcome. For there are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. But come, here, as before. Never, so help you grace, how strange or odd summer I bear myself, I perchance hereafter think it meet to put an end to disposition on, that you, seeing me as such, never shall with arms encumbered thus, or this head shake, or by pronouncing some doubtful phrase as, well, well, we know, or we could, and if we would, or any such ambiguous giving out, note that you know aught of things. This do swear, so grace and mercy at your most need help.
Swear!
Swear! Rest! Swear! Rest, perturbed spirit! And now, good friends, with all my love, do commend myself to you. And what so poor a man as Hamlet is may do to express that love and friending, God's willing it shall not last. Come, we're going together. Still, our fingers to our lips. Time is out of joint. And cursed spite that ever I was born to set it right. Come, we're going together. What's the matter?
I have been so frightened.
With what in the name of God?
As I was sewing in my closet, Lord Hamlet, his doublet all ungraced, no hat upon his head, his knees knocking together, his stockings ungartered and down dived at his ankles, pale as his shirt, he comes before me.
That's my love.
My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard, then going to the length of all his arm and lift his head, thus o'er his brow, he falls to such perusal of my face as it would draw it. Long stings he so. At last, a little shaking of my arm, and thus his head thrice nodding up and down, he raised a sigh so hideous and profound, as it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. That done, he lets me go, and with his head over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes, for out of doors he went without their help, and to the last bended their light on me.
Come, go with me. I will go seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love, whose violent property foredoes itself, and leads the will to desperate undertakings as oft as any passion under heaven that does afflict our natures. I am sorry. What? Did you give him any hard words of late?
No, my lord, but as you did command, I did repel his letters and denied his access to me.
That hath made him mad. I am sorry. With better heed and judgment I had not quoted him. I feared he did but trifle and interact thee, but to strew my jealousy by heaven, it is as proper to our age, and cast beyond ourselves and our opinions, as this conduct to the younger sort to lack discretion. Come, go reach the king. This must be made known, with being kept close, like who more grief to hide than hate to utter love. Come.
Thou still hast been the father of good news. He tells me, my dear Gertrude, he hath found the head and source of all our son's distemper.
I doubt it is no other but the main. In his father's death and our hasty marriage.
Well, we shall sift them.
My liege, I, madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what beauty is, why day is day, night, night, and time is time, for nothing but to wait, night, day, and time. Therefore, brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes. I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad, all I is, for to define true madness, what is but to be nothing else but mad. But let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity, and pity 'tis true, a foolish figure, but farewell, for I will use no art. Mad, let us grant him then, and now remains that we find out the cause of this effect, or rather say the cause of this defect, for this effect defective comes by cause. soul's idol, the most unified Ophelia. That's an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Unified is a vile phrase. What do you think? Thus, in her excellent white bosom, these, etc., etc., etc.
Greetings, Hamlet, to her.
Good madam, stay a while, I will be faithful. Doubt thou the stars are fire, doubt that the sun doth move, doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. Oh, dear Ophelia, I am ill at these numbers. I have not art to reckon my groans, but that I love thee best. Oh, most best, believe it. Adieu, thine evermore, most dear lady, whilst this machine is to him, Hamlet. These, in obedience, hath my daughter shown me, and more above, hath his soliciting, as they fell out by time, by means, and place, all given to my ear.
But how has she received his love?
What do you think of me?
Oh, as if a man faithful and honest.
I would fain prove so, but what might you think when I have seen this hot love on the wing as I received it? I must tell you that before my daughter told me. What might you or my dear majesty or queen here think if I had played the desk or tablecloth, or given my heart a winking youth and dumber, or looked upon this love with idle sight? What might you think? No, I went round to work, and my young mistress thus I did speak. Lord Hamlet, the prince out of thy star, this must not be. And then I precept gave her that she should lock herself from his resort, admit no messengers, receive no tokens, which done. She took the fruit of my advice, he, repulsed, a short tale to make, fell into sadness, then to a fact, thence to a watch, thence to a weakness, thence to a lightness, and by this declension into the madness wherein now he raves, and all we mourn for.
Do you think this?
It may be very like.
Hath there been such a time, I fain know that I have positively said 'tis so when it proves otherwise.
No, not that I know.
Take this from this, if this be otherwise. If circumstances lead me, I will find where truth is hid, though it were hid indeed within the center.
How may we try further?
You know, sometimes he walks 4 hours here together in the lobby.
So he does indeed.
At such a time, I'll loose my daughter. Be you and I behind him, ours then, armed for the encounter. If he loves or not, read not from his reason, calm their own. Let me know since the first day. It's far, farther.
You must try.
But look, where sadly the poor wretch comes free.
Away, I do beseech you both away. I'll board him presently. Oh, give me leave, give me leave. How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, be praised.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent.
You're a fishmonger. Not I, my lord.
Then I would have resolved man.
Honest, my lord.
Aye, sir. Be honest as this world goes. One man picked out of 10,000.
Well, that's very true, my lord.
The sun may breed maggots in a dead dog, being a God's Presbyterian. Have you a dog?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Deception is a blessing, but she may conceive from a friend. Look to it.
I'll say you by that. Still harping on my daughter, and yet he knew me not at first. He said I was a fishmonger. He is far gone, and truly, in my youth I suffered much extremity for love. Very near this. I'll speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words. Words. Words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean the matter that you read, my lord.
Ah, slanders, sir. For the satirical rogue says that old men have gray beards, their faces are wrinkled, their eyes purging amber and thick plum tree gum, that they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hands, all of which I potently and powerfully believe. Yet I find it not as honesty to have it thus set down. For you yourselves will grow as old as I, if, like a crab, you could go backwards.
Though this be madness, yet there is method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
It's my grave.
Indeed, and it is out of the air, how pregnant. Sometimes his replies are a happiness that often madness hits on with reason, and sanity could not so prosperously be delivered of. I will leave him and my daughter. My lord, I will take my leave of you now.
You cannot take from me anything I would more willingly part with all except my life. Except my life. Except my life.
Fare you well, my lord. These tedious old fools.
What a piece of work is man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, in form and moving, how express and admirable, in action, how like an angel, in apprehension, how like a god. Beauty of the world, paragon of animals. Yes, me. What is this quintessence of dust? No, man delights not me, nor woman neither.
The actors have come hither, my lord.
Buzz, buzz.
The best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, pastoral comical, historical pastoral, tragical historical, tragical comical historical pastoral, scene individable, poem unlimited.
You are welcome, masters. Welcome all. I'm very glad to see you all, my friends. My good friends. Thy face is veiling since last I saw thee. Comest thou to fear me in Denmark? And your ladyship is nearer to heaven than when last I saw thee by the altitude of Seuffert. I pray your voice, like a piece of uncurrent gold, hath not cracked in the rain. But even to it like French falconers, fly at the first thing we see. We'll have a speech straight away. Come, give us a taste of your quality. Passionate speech.
What speech, my lord?
I heard thee speak me a speech once. Never acted, or it was not above once. It was Aeneas' tale to Dido, and thereabout it, especially speaking on the death of Priam. If it lives to thy memory, begin at this line. 'Twas Priam, like the Hyrcanian beast. No, 'tis not it. It begins with Pyrrhus. The rugged Pyrrhus, he whose sable arms, black as his purpose, did the night resemble, whilst he lie couched in the ominous horse, half his dread and black complexion, smeared with heraldry more dismal, head to foot. Now he is total fools, tricked in the blood of fathers, daughters, mothers, sons, baked and impasted in the parched streets that lend a tyrannous and damned light to their lord's murder. Roasted in wrath and fire, and thus was sized with coagulate gore, with eyes like carbuncles. Hellish Pyrrhus, old grandsire Priam, seeks.
Oh God, my lord, well spoken, good accents and good discretion.
Well, so proceed. How to have you?
But who? Oh, who hath seen that Moblin queen?
Oh, Moblin Queen.
That's good. Moblin Queen is good.
Run barefoot, up and down, threatening the flames that Dixon room. A clout upon that head where late the diadem stood, and for a robe about her lank and all more teeming loins a blanket, in the alarm of fear caught up. Who this had seen, with tongue in venom steeped, gainst fortune's state treason would pronounce. But if the gods themselves did see her then, when she saw Pyrrhus make malicious sport in mincing with his sword her husband's limbs, the instant burst of clamor that she made, unless things mortal moved them not at all, would have made milch the burning eyes of heaven and passion in the gods.
Look where she has now turned her color and has tears in her eyes. Prithee, no more. No more.
Well. I'll have you speak the rest out to me soon. When you see these players well bestowed, my lord, dost thou hear me? Use these players well. They are abstracts and brief chronicles of the time. When you are dead, it is better to have a bad epitaph than their ill report whilst you live.
My lord, I will use them according to their deserts.
God's bodykins, man, much better. Use every man to his desert, and who shall escape a whipping? Use them to your own honor and dignity. The less they deserve, the more the merit for your valor. Take them in.
Come, sirs.
Friends, follow that lord. You'll have a play tonight. My lord, see here. Stop playing the murder of Gonzaga.
I my lord.
Excellent. We'll have it tonight. You could, for a need, study a speech of some dozen or 16 lines, which I would set down rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, in but dream of passion, in a fiction, can force her soul so to her own conceit that from her workings all her visage want, tears in her eyes, distraction in her aspect, a broken voice, and every feature suiting to the form of her conceit? And for nothing. For Hecuba. And who is Hecuba to her, or her to Hecuba, that she should weep for her? What would she do had she the motive in the cube of passion that I have? Or she would drown the stage with tears, cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty and appall the free, confound the ignorant, and amaze indeed the very eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and muddy metalled rascal, hate like John in dreams, unpregnant of my cause, and can do nothing. No, not for a king, upon whose property in most dear life a damned defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain, breaks my paint cross, plucks my beard and blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose and gives me lie the throat as deep as to the lungs? Who does me this, huh? Swoons, I should take it, for it cannot be but I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter. Or ere this, I should have fatted all the region's kites with that slave's offal. Bloody body villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain! Oh, what an ass am I! This is most brave, that I, son to a dear father murdered, must, like a whore, unpack my heart with words, and fall a-cursing, like a drab, a scullion, fie upon it, fall! About my brains. I have heard it said that guilty creatures sitting at a play have, by the very cunning of the scene, been so struck to the soul that presently they've proclaimed their malefactions. The murder, though it hath no tongue, may speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks, I'll tent him to the quick. If he but blench, I'll know my course. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
Felix, walk with you. Gracious Sulpicius, we will bestow ourselves. Read on this book. I hear him coming. Withdraw, my lord.
To be, or not to be? That is the question. Or whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or take up arms against the sea of troubles, and by opposing anything. To die, to sleep, no more. And by a sleep, say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. Is a consummation devoutly to be wished? To die, to sleep. Sleep the chance to dream. And there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil? Give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit the unworthy takes, when he himself his quietus might make with a bare bodkin? Who would fathers bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but for the dread of something after death? That undiscovered country, from whose bourne no traveller returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather cling to ills we have than fly to those we know not of. And thus, conscience does make cowards. Thus, the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment. In this regard, their currents turn around. Lose the name of action. But so, fair Ophelia. Nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good my lord, how does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well, well, well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now, receive them.
No, not I. I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you know right well you did, and with them words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. Their perfume lost, take these again, for to the noble mind rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind.
Be you honest?
My lord,
Be you fair?
what means your lordship?
Only if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty?
Aye, truly. For the power of beauty would sooner transform honesty from what it is into a bawd than the force of honesty could translate beauty into his likeness. This was sometime a paradox. But time has given it proof. I did love once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. For virtue cannot so inoculate our old stock, but we will relish in it. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Oh, get me to a nunnery! Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I myself am indifferent honest, yet I can accuse me of such things I would my mother had not borne me. I am most proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offences at my beck than I have thought to put them in imagination to give them form or time to act them in. What should fellows such as I do, crawling between the earth and heaven? We are errant knaves, all. Believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where is your father?
At home, my lord.
Huh. Well, then let the doors be shut upon him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell.
Oh, help him, you sweet heaven.
Oh, and if thou dost marry, I'll give thee this blade as thy dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow. Thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery. And if you must marry, marry a fool. For wise men know what monsters you make of us. To a nunnery, go, and quickly, too.
Oh, heavenly powers, restore him.
Oh, I've heard of your paintings well enough. God has given you one face, and you make yourselves another. You jig and amble, and you list. You nickname all of God's creatures, and you make your wantonness your ignorance. I'll have no more on it. Go to. It has made me mad. I say there shall be no more marriage. Those that are married already, all but one shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery. Go.
Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown. The courtiers, scholars, soldiers, eye, tongue, sword, the expectation and rose of the fair state, the glass of fashion and the mold of form, the observed of all observers, quite down. And I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that sucked the honey of his music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled out of tune and harsh. That unmatched form and feature of blown youth, blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me to have seen what I have seen. See what I see.
Love, his affections do not that way, Ken. Know what he spake, though it lacked form a little, was not like madness. There's something in his soul which is melancholy sits on brood, and I do doubt the hatch and the disclose will be some danger. Which sort to prevent? I have in quick determination I'll set it down. He shall with speed to England for the demand of unelected tribute. Haply the seas and countries different with various objects shall expel that something settled matter. And his hardware on his brain so deep he puts him thus on fashion of himself. What think you on it?
It shall do well, but yet I do believe the origin and commencement of his grief sprung from neglected love. How now, Ophelia? You need not tell us what Lord Hamlet said, we heard it all. My lord, if you do as you please, but if you hold it fit after the play, let his queen mother all alone entreat him to show his grief. Let her be round with him, and I will be safe, so please you, in the ear of all their confidence, if she find him not, to England send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
Oh no, my lord. Will the king hear this piece of work? And the queen too, and that's presently. Good the players make it. What? Oh, Horatio!
Service.
Thou art as just a man as e'er my conversation coped withal.
Oh, my dear lord.
Nay, do not think I flatter. What advancement would I gain from thee? That hath no revenue but thy good spirits to feed or clothe thee. Oh, why should the poor be flattered? Let the candied tongue lick absurd pomp, and crook the pregnant hinges of the knee where thrift may follow fawning. Dost thou hear? My soul, mistress of her choice, and could men distinguish her election, she had seated thee for herself. For thou art as one suffering all who suffers none, a man who fortune buffets and rewards to take him in equal price. Blessed is he, blood and judgment, so well come now. He is not tight for fortune's finger to sound what stop she please. Give me that man that is not passion's slave, thou wears my heart's core. Nay, in my heart thoughts, I give thee. Something came after this. There is a play tonight before the king. One scene of it comes very near the circumstance which I have told thee of murder. Now observe this scene, present, through all the very comments I saw. Observe the king. Give him heedful note, for I might actually rivet his face. Then after, together we shall both our judgments join in censure of the scene.
Well, my lord, it is still off the list to play playing and stage detective. I will pay the tax.
Ah, they come to the play. I'm the idea.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Oh, excellent! Well, of the chameleon's dish, I eat the air. Promise crab. You cannot feed capons so.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine neither. My lord, you say you played at the university.
That did I, my lord, and was accounted a good actor.
And what did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
Ah, 'twas a brute parchment to kill so capital a captain.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet, sit by me.
No, mother. Here's metal more attractive.
Oh, you want that?
My lady, might I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
I mean my head in your
It's
lap.
I, my lord.
You think I'm a countryman?
I think nothing, my lord.
Oh, there's a fair thought to lie between maids' legs.
What is, my lord?
Nothing.
You are married, my lord.
Who, I?
I, my lord.
And what should men do but be merry? So look you how cheerfully my mother looks, and what my father died only these past 2 hours.
Nay, 'tis quite 2 months, my lord.
How long? Huh. 2 months dead, and still remembered. There's a chance a good man's memory may outlast him half a year. He'll have to build mead holes, or he won't bear a thinking on. Ah! It poisons him in their garden for his estate. His name's Gonzago. The story is extant and writ in choice Italian. You shall see presently how the poisoner wins the love of Gonzago's wife.
The king rises.
For what? Frightened with false fire?
How fares my lord?
Give over the plague!
Give me some light!
Light!
Away!
Light!
Did you see?
Very well, my lord.
Upon the poisoner.
Very well noted.
My lord, the queen would speak with you and presently.
You see yonder cloud that is somewhat in the shape of a camel.
By mass, it's like a camel indeed.
It thinks it's more like a weasel.
It is backed like a weasel,
Or perhaps a whale.
very like a whale.
Then I shall be to my mother's by and by. They fool me to the top of my face. I shall be there by and by.
I will say so.
By and by is easily said. Leave me, pray. Now is the very witching time of night. The churchyards yawn, and hell itself breathes black corruption into the world. Now did I drink hot blood and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look upon. But first to my mother. Your heart was not thy nature. I must be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak daggers to her, but use none. Miss my words and thoughts be hypocrites. How in my words somever she be shent. Give them seals, never my soul consent.
I like him not. Your stand is safe with us and let his madness reign. Therefore, prepare yourself. I am commissioned with forces to Saxon, and he to England shall along with you. The terms of my estate may not endure. Hazard too near us, as the valley grow up and drown. Army, I pray you, to this speedy voyage, for we will fetters put upon the spear, which now goes to the free footed. You will hasten, my lord.
My lord, he's going to his mother's body. Behind the arch, I'll convey myself and hear the message. Warren shall tax him home, and as you said, and wisely was it said, 'tis meet to have some more audience than a mother's, whose nature makes it impartial, to overhear the speech of vantage. Fare you well, my liege. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed and tell you where I go.
Thanks, dear my lord. Oh, my offense is rank. It has the primal eldest curse upon it. A brother's murder. Pray, can I not? For inclination be as not as will. My stronger guilt defeats my strong intent, and like a man to double business bound, I stand and pause where I shall first begin, and both neglect. But oh, what form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder? That cannot be, for I'm still possessed by those effects for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense? In the corrupted currents of this world, offense's gilded hand may shove by justice, and oft is seen the wicked prize itself buys out the law, but 'tis not so above. O wretched state, O bosom black as death, O limed soul that's struggling to be free, art more engaged. Help, angels, make us safe. Bow stubborn knees, and heart with strings of steel be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well. My words fly up, my thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts, never to have and go.
Look you, stay home. Tell him his price has been too broad to bear with, and that your grace hath screened be round with him.
Well, or you fear me not. Withdraw, I hear him coming.
Now, mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come. You answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Have you forgotten?
No, by the root, not so. You're the queen, thy husband's brother's wife. And whether it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, then, I'll set those to you that can speak.
No, you shall not go. You set you down. You shall not move. You shall not budge till I set you up a glass, where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me? Help!
Help! Oh, what's this? A rat? Death for abducted? Dead!
I am slain! Oh, what hast thou done?
Hey, I know not. Is it the king?
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this!
A bloody deed, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
Has killed a king!
Aye, mother, 'twas my word. Oh, thou rat, wretched and intruding fool. I took thee for thy better. Ah. Take thy fortune. Thou find'st me too busy in some danger. Oh, leave the wringing of thy hands. Sit thee down, I'll wring thy heart. So I shall, if it be made of permeable stuff. If damned custom hath done so is proof and bulwark against sense.
What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Act as blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, takes the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love and sets a blister there, makes marriage vows as false as dicers' oaths. Such a deed as from the very body of contraction plucks the soul and sweet religion makes a rhapsody of words. Heaven's face doth glow o'er this solidity and compound mass, and with tristful visage as to the doom, is thought's sake at the act.
I mean, what act?
Ah, here, look you at this. Upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. Here, see, what a grace was seated on that brow. Hyperion's curve. An eye like Mars to threaten and command. A station like the herald Mercury, new lighted on a heaven-kissing hill. A combination of form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal to take assurance of a man. This was your husband, and now look you what follows. This is your husband, like a mildewed ear, blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leave to feed and batten on this moor? Have you eyes? You cannot call it love. Oh, for at your age the heyday in the blood is tame. It is humble and awaits judgment. And what judgment would step from this to this? Surely sense you must have, else you could not have motion, but sure that sense is apoplexed, for madness would not err, nor sense to ecstasy ne'er be so thrown, but to reserve some quality of choice to serve in such a difference.
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more! These words! Thou turn'st mine eyes to my very soul, and there I see such black and grievous spots as will not leave their cheeks!
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bag, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty sty.
Oh, speak to me no more!
A murderer!
These words like daggers enter in mine ears! No more, sweet Hamlet!
A murderer and a villain! A slave that is not 20th part the tithe of your president lord. A vice of kings, a cut purse of the empire, and for a show the precious diadem stole and put in his pockets.
No more!
A king of shreds and patches! Oh, save me and hover on me with your wings, heavenly guardians. Oh,
Unless he's mad.
Comest thou to chide your tardy son that lapsed in time and passion, lets go by the important activity of your dread command? Oh, speak.
Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Conceit and weakest body strongest works. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How is it with you, lady?
Alas, how is it with you? That you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse? Forth at your eyes, your spirits widely peep, and as the sweeping soldiers in alarum, your bended hair like life in excrement starts up and stands on end. O gentle sun, upon the heat and flame of thy distemper, sprinkle cool patience, whereon do you look?
On him! On him! Look you how pale he glares! His form and costume joined preaching the stones to make them kindle. Oh, look not upon me, lest with this piteous act you convert my stern affections. Then what I have to do will want the true color tears beturn for blood.
To whom do you speak this?
See you nothing there!
Nothing!
Nothing
at
you
all!
here!
No, nothing but ourselves!
Look you how he goes even now. My father went his habit as he lived. Even now, as he goes out of the portal.
This, the very coinage of your brain.
Ah.
This bodiless creation ecstasy is very cunning in.
My pulse doth terribly keep time as yours, and make as helpful music. This is not madness I have uttered. Oh, mother, for love of grace, lay not that flattering unction to thy soul, that it is not your trespass, but my madness that speaks. No. Repent what is past, avoid what is to come, and do not spread your compost in the weeds to make them rankle.
Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Then throw away the worse apart and live the better with the purer half. Good night, fair mother, but go not to mine uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. Refrain tonight, and it will lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence, the next more easy. And when thou art desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of thee. For this, say Lord, I do repent. But God hath pleased to punish me with this, and this with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I shall bestow him, and will answer well the death I gave him. But again, good night, mother. I must be cruel only to be kind. Therefore bad begins, but worse is left behind.
What shall I do?
Not this, by no means, that I bid you do. Let that bloat king tempt you again to his bed, or pinch want in your cheek call you his mouse, or let him, for a pair of reedy kisses, or a paddling in your neck with his damned fingers, to ravel all this matter out. I essentially am not in madness, but am mad in craft.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast said to me.
Master England, you know this.
Alack, I had forgot.
Oh,
Tis so concluded on.
there's letter sealed. And my two escorts, whom I would trust as I would adder's fang, they bear the mandate. They must sweep my way and marshal me to Navy. Let it work. But 'tis sport to have the engineer hoist with his own petard. And it shall go hard, but I will delve 1 yard below their minds and blow them at the moon. Oh, 'tis sweet. In one line, two crafts directly meet. This man will set me packing. I'll lug the guts into the neighbor room. Good night, mother. This counselor, who secrets must still and must rave. What's in life? A foolish, prating name. Come, sir. To draw towards an end with you. Good night, mother.
There's matter in this size, this profound means. You must translate to fit we understand them. Where's your son?
Oh, my own lord! What have I seen tonight?
What, Gertrude? How does Hamlet?
Mad as the sea and wind, when both contend which is my ear. In his lawless fit behind the R's, hearing something stir, he whips out his rapier and cries, "A rat! A rat!" And in this greenish apprehension, kills the unseen good old man.
Oh, happy me. It happened so with us had we been there. His liberty is full of threats to all, to you yourself, to us, to everyone. Alas, how shall this bloody deed be answered? It will be linked to us, whose providence should have kept short, restrained, and out of all this man and man. But so much was our love, we could not understand what was most fitful. Like the owner of all these yeast to keep it from divulging. Let it feed even on the pith of life. Where is he gone?
To pull apart the body he hath killed, or whom his very madness, like some ore among a mineral of metal face, shows himself pure. For weeks for once done.
Oh, Gertrude, come away. The sun no sooner shall the mountain set, but we shall ship him hence. And this vile deed we must with all majesty and skill both countenance and excuse. Oh, guardsmen! Friends both, go join you with some further aid. Hamlet and madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he dragged him. Go seek him out, speak fair, and bring the body into the temple. God, pray you hasten this. Oh, come away. We'll call up our wife's friends and tell them both what we need to do and what's untimely done. Come away. My heart is full of discord and dismay. Oh! Now, Hamlet! Where is Polonius?
At supper.
At supper where?
Oh, not where he eats, where he's eaten. A certain body of caustic worms are eaten at him. You worms, your only emperor was died. We back all else to back ourselves, and yet we back ourselves for maggots. Your fat king and your lean beggar are but variable service. 2 plates for 1 pig. That is the egg.
Alas.
A man may feed may fish with a worm that has egg of a king, and eat of that fish that has egg of that worm.
What does thou mean by this?
Nothing, but to show thy grace how a king may go progress through the guts of a beggar.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Well, send him to see. If your messenger find him not there, sink him in the other place yourself. But, indeed, if you find him not within a month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs to the lobby.
Go seek him there.
He shall wait until you come.
Hamlet, this deed for thine especial safety, which we do tender as we dearly grieve for that which thou hast done, must send thee hence. Therefore prepare thyself. The bark is ready, the wind at help, the associates tent and everything is ready for England.
For England?
I am the.
Good.
So is it. It's on who's got purposes.
I see a sheriff this evening. But, come, for England. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father.
My mother! Father and mother are man and wife. Man and wife are but one flesh. Therefore, my mother. But come, for England.
I'll have him hence tonight. And England, if my love thou hold'st at odds, my great power thereof may give thee sense, since yet thy cicatrice looks raw and red after the Danish sword and my free awe. Payst homage to us. Thou mayst not coldly set our sovereign process, which imports at full, by letters congruent to the effect, the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England! For like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me, till a note is done. However, mayhaps my joys may never begin.
I will not speak with her.
She is importunate. He is trying to lose the key secret.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father. Says he hears there's tricks in the world, and hands and beats her heart. Turns that he's in strong, speaking to doubt referring but has sex. Her speech is nothing. Yet the unshed usage of mood and fears and reflection they yawn at. And thoughts of the word nothing since an own thought, which, as her winks and nods and gestures yield us what it sees the thing within it might be thought, though nothing sure, yet might unhappy. For good she was spoken to, for she makes through dangerous conjectures and ill-treated lies.
Let her come in. To my sick soul, a sin true nature is. Each choicing's prologue to some great amiss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt. It spills itself in fearing to be spilt.
Where's the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
How should I, your true not know? From another one, finest tackle, hat, and staff, and sandal shun.
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you, nay, pray you, mark. He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. At his head a grasping turf, at his heels a stone.
Nay, but Ophelia.
Pray you, mark. White as shroud as the mountain snow.
Alas, it will kiss you, Lord.
That the west of the grave to go, with true love showers.
How do you, pretty Ophelia?
Well, God ill you. They say the owl was a banker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Proceed upon our father.
Pray you, let's have no words of this, but when they ask you what it means, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, on the morning time. I made stormy notes, no Valentine, that up he rose and dawned his clothes and back to the chamber door. But in the maid that our maid never departed, Lord.
Pretty Ophelia.
Not pray you, indeed without an oath, who make an end on it. His advice we carry, alack and fly for shame. Young men will drink when they come to it, by cost they are to blame. Oh, she before you troubled me, you promised me to wed. So would I have done by honor's bond, hadst thou not come to my bed.
How long has she been thus?
I hope all will be well. You must be patient, and yet I cannot choose to weep, to think that they should lay him in the cold ground. My brother will know of it, and so I thank you for your good counsel. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Come, my coach. Good night.
Follow close, give a good watch, I pray you.
I will.
Oh, this is the poison of grief. It springs all from her father's death, and now behold, when sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First the father slain, next your son gone, and he, the most violent author of his own, doth remove the people, muddy, thick, and unwholesome in their thoughts and whispers for good Polonius' death, and we have done but greedy and hugger-mugger to inter him. Poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment, without the which we are pictures or mere beasts and last. And as much forgetting as all is, her brother, since secret come from France, feeds on his wonder, keeps himself in clouds, and wants not buzzers to infect his ears for pestilent speeches of his father's death.
Alack, what noise is this?
Where are my Switzers? Let them guard the door. What is the matter?
Save yourself, my lord. The ocean overbearing his lips leaves not but rise with more impetuous haste than the young Laertes. It rides his head, overbears your officers. The rabble call him lord. And as the world were now but to begin, customs not known, antiquities forgot, the ratifiers and prompts of every word they cry, choose we, the Laertes shall be king. Hats, hands, and tongues applaud into the clouds. The Laertes shall be king. The Laertes king.
The doors are broke.
Where is this king? Thou vile king, give me my father!
Calmly, Laertes.
that drop of blood that's called Paul's confessor, cries cuckold to my father, brands the harlot even here between the chaste, unsmirched brow of my true mother.
Certes, tell me, why art thou in hospice? And let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear a person as such divinity doth hedge a king that treason cannot peep through what it would. Tell me, Laertes, why does our rebellion look so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. Hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, grace and conscience to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation. To this point I stand, that both worlds I give to negligence. But come what comes, but I'll be revenge most thoroughly for my father.
Who shall stay you?
I will. Not all the world. And for my means I will husband them so well that they shall go far with me.
Good Laertes, if you desire to know the certainty of your dear father's death, is it writ in your revenge that swoopstake you will draw both friend and foe, winner and loser?
None but his enemies.
Will you know them then?
To his good friends thus wide I'll open my arms, and like the kind, life-rendering pelican, repast them with my blood.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. That I am guiltless of your father's death, and I am most sensible in grief for it. It shall his level to your judgment care. This day doth to your eye.
Now, what noise is that? Oh, heat, dry up my brains. Tears 7 times salt, burn out the sense and virtue of mine eyes. Oh, Rose of May, dear May, kind sister. Oh, heavens, is possible?
Lord, there feast on the dear. I'm not in the gate, not in the cat is great, Lady Betty is here. Very well, my dove.
Hadst thou thy wits and did persuade revenge, it could not move thus.
Oh, you must sing adown the town and we call her Tiana.
This nothing is more than matter.
Oh, here's Rosemary. That's for remembrance. Pray, love, remember. And there's Pansies. That's for thoughts.
A document in madness, thoughts and remembrance fitted.
Here's settle for you, and Columbines. And here's room for you, and here's some for me. We must call it third, race the Sundays. Here's you must wear your robe. Here's Daisy. I would give you all some violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end. Poor Bonnie's sweet throbbing is all my joy.
Thoughts, passion, affliction, hell itself, she turns from favor and hate.
And will you not come again? Will you not come again? No, no, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He never will come again.
Do you see this, O gods?
Laertes, I must commune with you before you deny me right. Go but apart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me. If by direct or by collateral hand they find us touched, we will our kingdom give, our crown, our life, and all that we can ours, to you in satisfaction. But if not, be you content to lend your patience to us, and we shall jointly labor with your soul to give it due content.
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure funeral, no sword nor trophy, nor hatpin on his bones, no noble right nor formal ostentation, be cried as 'twere from heaven to earth, that I must call it confession.
So you shall. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall. I pray you go with me.
Horatio, when thou shalt have overlooked this, give the messenger some means to the king, and they have letters to him. Ere we were 2 days old at sea, a pirate of a very warlike appointment gave us chase. Finding ourselves too slow of
On the instant they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner. They have dealt with me like thieves of mercy. But they knew what they did. I am to do a good turn for them. Let the king have the letters I had sent, and repair thou to me with as much speed as thou wouldst fly them. I have words to speak in thine ear will make thee dumb, yet they are much too light for the bore of the battle. These good fellows will bring thee where I am. My companions hold their course for England. Of them I have much to tell thee. Farewell. He that thou knowst died, Hamlet.
Now must your conscience my acquaintance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend, since you've heard, and with a knowing ear, that he who had your noble father slain pursued my life.
It well appears. But tell me why you proceeded not against this feat so crimeful and capital in nature, as by your safety, wisdom, all things else, you vainly were stirred up.
Oh, for two reasons which may to you perhaps seem much unsin you, but yet to me they are strong. The queen his mother almost lives by his looks, and for myself my virtue on my plate, being the witch. She's so conjunct to my life and soul that as the star moves not but in his sphere, I could not but by her. The other motive why to a public count I might not go is the great love the general gender bear him, who dipping all his faults in their affection, work like the spring that turneth wood to stone, convert his jibes to graces, so that my arrows, being too slightly timbered, for so loud a wind would have reverted to my bow again, and not where I aimed at.
So have I a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms, whose worth in praise may go back again, stood as challenger on the mount of all the age for her perfection. But my revenge will come.
Now break not your sleeves for that. You must not think that we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we can let our beard be shook with danger and think it pastime. You shortly shall hear more. I love your father, and we love ourselves, and that, I hope, will teach you to imagine how, under no how now, what news?
Letters, your lord, from Hamlet. This, to your highness, will be.
From Hamlet. Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord, they say. I saw them not. They were given me by Claudio. He received them from those that gave them to him.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. I and
Right.
you shall know I am set vacant on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes. When I shall
First asking your pardon, thereunto recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return.
what should this mean? All the rest come back, or is it some abuse and no such thing?
Are you the hand?
It's Hamlet's character, naked, and in a postscript here. He says alone. Can you advise me?
I am lost in it, my lord. But let him come. It warms the very sickness of my heart, that I may live to say to his teeth, thus diest thou.
If it should be so, Laertes, then how should it be so? How otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
Why, my lord, so you will not more rule me to a peace?
To thine own peace. If he be now returned, then checking and voyage, and that he means no more return to take it. I will work him to an exploit, now ripen my device under which he shall not choose, but fall, and for his death no wind of blame shall breathe, but even his mother shall uncharge the practice and call it accident.
My lord, I shall be ruled the rather if you advise that I may be the order.
It falls right. You can talk of things you travel much, and that in Hamlet's hearing for quality wherein they say you shine. Your son of parts did not together pluck such envy from him as did that one, and that in my regard of the unworthiest sin.
And what part is that, my lord?
A Norman made confession of you and gave you such a masterly report for art and exercise in your defense, and for your rapier most especial, that he cried out, put me aside indeed, if one could match you. These swimmers of the nation, he swore, had neither motion guard nor eye if you opposed them. Sir, this report of his Did Hamlet so envenom with his envy that he could nothing do but wish and beg, your son coming o'er to play with you?
Get out of this.
Oh. Lady. Was your father dear to you? Or are you like the painting of a soul? A face without heart?
Why ask me this?
Not that I think you didn't love your father, but that I know love is begun by time, and that I see in passages of proof, time qualifies the spark and fire of it. There lives within that very flame of love a kind of wick or snuff that will abate it. Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to show yourself indeed your father's son, more than in word?
To cut his throat in the church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds. But good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet return, shall know you are come home. We'll put on those shall praise your excellency. Set a double varnish on the fame the Frenchman gave you. Bring your infant together, and wager on your head. He being remiss, most generous, and free from our contriving, shall not peruse the foil so that with ease, or with a little softly, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a passive practice, requite him for your father.
I will do this. And for this purpose I shall anoint my sword. I bought an unction of mountain, so mortal, but to dip a knife in it, where it draws blood, no advertising so rare, collected from all the symbols that have virtue under the moon, can save the thing from death that is but scratch. I shall touch my point with this contagion, that if I gall him slightly, it shall be death.
Let's further think of it, and weigh what both convenience, both of time and means may fit us to our shape. If this should fail and that our drift will draw that performance, for better not to say, therefore, this project should have a back or second that might hold if it should not improve. Come, let me see. We'll make a double wager on your cunning. I have it. When in your motion you are hot and dry, and make your balls more violent to that end, and he calls for drink, I'll have prepared him a chalice for the nuns, wherein but sit there. If you by chance escape the random stuck, I'll purposely hold there. Oh no! Sweet queen!
Oh no, don't tread upon another's heel! So fast they follow! Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Oh, where?
There's a willow grows aslant the brook that shows its hoary leaves in the glassy stream. There with fantastic garlands hath she made of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples, which liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our dead maids do, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant boughs her coronet weeds clamoring to hang, an envious sliver broke, when down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide and mermaid-like, a while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued into that element. But long it could not be, but that till ever garments heavy with their drink pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, that she is drowned.
Drowned. Drowned.
Too much water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. And yet it is our trick. Nature her custom holds, let shame say what it will. When these are gone, the woman will be out. But you, my lord, I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but that this folly drowns it.
Let's follow, Gertrude. How much I have to do to come this rage. I'll fear I just will get it started again, therefore let's follow.
When I did love, methought it was very sweet. stronger than either the shipwright, the mason, or the carpenter.
Gallows agent, for that I'll give 1,000 penance.
Well, in good faith, the gallows does well. But how does it? It does well to those who do ill. Now, thou dost ill to say the gallows is built stronger than the church. Marvel, the gallows may do well to thee. Do it again, come.
Who builds stronger? The mason, the shipwright, or the carpenter?
Aye, tell me that and unyoke.
Harry, now I can tell.
Do it.
Yes, I cannot tell.
Cudgel thy brains no more, for you will not mend your dull ass with beating. And next time you are asked this question, say a brave maker. The houses he built last till doomsday. Go get thee and fetch me a soup of liquor. In youth when I did love, methought it was very sweet to contract up the time for a methought, there was nothing of me.
This fellow knows, feeling in his business, he sings in grave making.
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
It's even so.
But age with his stealing step hath clawed me in his clutch, and hath shipped me until the land as if I had never been such.
I'll speak to this fellow. Whose friend is this, sirrah?
Mine, sir. For a bit of clay for to be made for such a gift is the meat.
Indeed, I see it be thine, for thou liest in it.
You lie out on it, sir, therefore it is not yours. For my part, I do lie in it. I do lie in it, and yet it is mine.
Well, thou dost lie in it, to be in it and say it is thine. But it is for dead, not for the quick. Therefore, thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir, 'twill away again from you to me to you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman then?
For none neither.
Who's to be buried in it?
Oh, why, one who was a woman, sir, but bless her soul, she's dead.
How absolute this may be. We must play him by the card, or equivocation will undo us. How long has thou been a grave maker?
Oh, I have been sexton here, man and boy, 30 years.
Now, how long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Well, if he be not rotten before he dies, we have many pocky corpses nowadays that can scarcely hold the lying in. He will last you 8 years or 9. A tanner will last you 9 years.
Why he more than another?
Why, sir, his hide is so tanned from his trade that it will keep the water out a great while. For your water is a sore decay of your morsel dead body. Ow! I have a skull! Here the skull hath lied in the earth some 3 and 20 years.
Whose is it?
A horse and mad fellows it was. Do you know whose it was?
Yeah, marry, I know not.
A pestilence on him for a mad rogue. He once poured a flagon of Rhenish on my head. This same skull, sir, was, sir, Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This.
Oh, yes.
Let me see. Huh. Alas. We are it. I knew him, Horatio. He's a fellow of infinite jest and excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. Now, how horrid it is in my imagination. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your songs, your gambols, your flashes of merriment that will want to set the table at a roar. Not one to mock your own grinning, quite chaff fallen. Get thee to my mistress's table. Bid her paint an inch thick. This favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. But soft laugh. Since the king, queen, courtiers, who's to say follow with such maimed rights? Stuff the joke in the court they follow with desperate hands or do its own life. Was it some shame? Help me a while of mark. What ceremony else? That's just the end. Noble you, mark.
What ceremony else? Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead to sing a requiem in such vesper as the peace-hearted soul.
Lay her to rest. From her fair and unpolluted flesh we violent spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a minister and an angel shall my sister be, when thou liest howling.
The fair Ophelia. Sweets to the sweet. Farewell. I hope thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewed thy grave.
Oh, treble woe, fall 10 times treble on that cursed head, whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of. Hold off the earth a while, till I have caught her once more in mine arms. Now pile your dust upon the quick and dead, and make of this flat a mountain that would o'ertop old Pelion or the skyish head of blue Olympus.
Oh, such is he whose grief has such an emphasis, whose rays of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded hearers. Oh, it is I, it is Hamlet again.
The devil take thy soul out!
No, thou prayest not well. No, I prithee, take thy fingers from my throat. Though I am not splendid and rash, there is something in me dangerous, which let thy wisest fear. Hold off thy hands.
A problem is thunder.
My lord, be quiet!
No! Why? I can fight with this thief until my eyelids no longer
Oh,
wag.
my son, what thief?
I loved Ophelia! 40,000 brothers could not, with all their sum, make up my quantity of love. What would thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad, Laertes.
For the love of God, forbear me.
What wouldst thou do? Would thou fight? Would thou weep? Would thou fast? Tear thyself? Drink up easily to crocodile? I'll do it! Oh! Dost thou come to wine? Would thou face me by leaping in her grave? Be very quick with her. Well, so shall I. And I'll pray to mountains. Let them pile millions of acres upon us until our ground, singeing his pate across the burning zone, make us like a wart. Oh, thou mouth, I'll rant as well as thou.
This is mere madness, and thus a while the fit will work on him. Anon, as patient as the female dove is when her golden couplets are disclosed. His silence will sit drooping.
Hey, sir! Have you used me thus? I loved you ever. But 'tis no matter. Let Hercules do as he may. The cat will mew and dog will have his day.
I pray thee, good Horatio, wait upon it. Strengthen our patience in all. Strengthen your patience in all aspects, please. Open up the mattress of the crescent bush. Gertrude, set some watch over your son. This grave shall have a living monument. And now quite shortly shall we see. Till then, in patience our proceeding be.
Oh. Oh, your lordship is right. Welcome back to Denmark.
Oh, my humbly thank you, sir.
My lord, his majesty bade me signify to you that he hath placed a great wager on your head. Sir, here is newly come to court Laertes, Believe me, an absolute gentleman full of most excellent differences, a very soft society, and great showing.
Why do we wrap this gentleman in our raw bread?
Sir,
What was the nomination of this gentleman?
of Laertes.
Right, of him, sir.
You are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is, I mean, sir, for his weapon.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's two of his weapons. But still.
The king, sir, hath wagered 6 barbary horses against 6 French swords. There are signs of 3 liberal conceded carriages, and then a dozen passes between yourself and Laertes. Whoa! He shall not exceed you the 3 hits. He has laid on 12 for 9, and would come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
Sir, I will walk here in the hall. If it please His Majesty, which is the breathing time of the day for me. Let the foils be brought, the gentleman willing, and the king holds his purpose. I shall win for him, if I can. If I do not, I'll gain no recoil for my shame in the objects.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours. You did wager, my lord. I do not think so. Since he has gone into France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds. Though thou wouldst not think to know it, there's always groves here around my heart. But it is no matter.
Nay, for my lord.
No, it is but foolery. But there is some sort of game to me. Perhaps a couple of ladies.
Well, if your mind is like anything, obey. I will resolve your character if they were not this.
Nay, not a whit. We defy all this. There's a special providence in the fall of the sparrow. If it be now, it must come. If it not come, it will be now. If it be not now, it will come yet. Readiness is all. Since no man knows what autumn needs, what is to leave the time? Let be.
Come, Hamlet, come. Take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir. I've done you wrong. But pardon me that you are a gentleman. In this presence knows you must needs be heard while I am punished with sword distraction. I have done with your honor, nature, and exception, roughly weight, I here proclaim no madness. Was Hamlet wrong there? Never Hamlet. If Hamlet from himself be taken away, and when he's not himself, does wrong there? Hamlet does not. Hamlet denies. Who shall betray? Madness. Madness is Hamlet's enemy. If this be so, then Hamlet is of the faction that is wrong. Let my dissuading your purpose. Swinging so far in most generous thoughts. If I shot mine arrow over the house, wounded my brother.
I am satisfied, King, whose motive in this case should spur me most to my revenge. In my terms of honor I stand with you, will no reconcile till by some elder master of known honor I have a voice and precedent of peace, my name unborn. Till that time I accept your offered love like love will not harm.
I freely embrace it. And will this brother's wager frankly play? Come, give us the foils.
Come, one for me.
I'll be your foil, Laertes. In my ignorance, your skill like a shining star shall stick fiery off indeed.
You mock me, sir.
No, by this hand.
Give them the foils, young Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager?
Aye, my lord. Your grace has laid the wager on the weaker side.
I do not fear it. I've seen you both, but since he is better, we pay for odds.
This is too heavy. Let me see another. Ah.
Oh, this likes me well. This spoils all the way.
Aye, my good lord.
Hamlet, give the first or a second hit, or quit in answer to the third exchange. The king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath, and in the cup a union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. Cut, begin, and you the judge, bear a wary eye.
Come, sir. Come, my lord. One now. Judgment.
A hit, a very palpable hit.
Well, again.
Stay, give me drink. Hamlet, this toll is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
I'll play this down, sir. Set by a while. Come. What say you? A touch, I do confess.
Our son shall win.
He's fat and scant of breath. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin, rub thy brows. The queen carouses for thy fortune, Hamlet.
Good, madam.
Get her to not drink.
I will, my lord, I pray you pardon me.
It is the poison cup. It's too late.
Again, I'm dead, madam. By and by.
Come, let me wipe thy face.
Now, my lord.
I do not drink it.
It is almost empty my conscience. Come, Laertes. You do but doubt. I pray you, pass me your best violence. Here you may go on enough. Say you so. Come on. Oh.
Nothing, neither way.
Have action now!
Oh, look
Nay, come again! Like a woodcock to mine own spring josser, I am justly killed by my own treachery. How does the queen?
Ah, she swoons to see them bleed.
No. Hamlet, the drink. I am poisoned.
Poison! Treachery! Let the doors be locked! Seek it out! It is here, Hamlet! Thou art slain. There is no medicine in the world that can do thee good. In thee there is not half an hour of life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself upon me. Oh, here I lie, never to rise again. The queen is poisoned. I can no more. The king's to blame. The point. Envenom too. Ah, well then. Venom to thy way.
Oh, you defend me for a time and hurt?
Here, the
No.
murderers.
Ah!
Rescuers. Damn this king! Here,
No.
drink of this
Ah!
potion. Is our union there? Follow my mother. He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death fall not upon thee, nor thine on me. Gods make thee free. I follow you. I'm slain, Horatio. You that stand pale, tremble at this chance, law that mutes an audience to this act. Oh, if I had the time, as this fell started death, he's strict in his advance. I can tell you. I die, Horatio. Thou livest. Report my name and cause the right to be unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I am born ancient Roman from the day. Here's yet some liquor left.
No, give me the cup. As thou art a man, I'll have it. Oh, Horatio. What a wounded name. Standing left undone, I leave behind. If ever thou didst hold me in thy heart, absently from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain, tell my tale. Oh, I die. This potent poison quite overthrows my spirit. The rest is silent.
Now cracks noble heart. Good night, sweet prince. These lights of angels sing you to thy rest.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being out here with us. This is our Hamlet. We have 5 more performances. Tomorrow we will be right here at 4 p.m. and then we're off to the city and then off to Brooklyn the following weekend. You can visit www.blackhennaproductions.com for more information, or you can find us on our Facebook page, and we keep things up to date, including the weather. So just thank you so much. It is free Shakespeare, so I know you know what this is for. So we'd love for you to give if you can. If you can't, just spread the word. Thank you so much.